This really should be episode 206, part two, but I had a lot of conversations and people commenting, at least some people, about how any net positive is, a good thing towards getting down with carbon emissions and all that with these electric cars. And like anything to get us down to zero, we can get there. Like, yeah, but we are on our way there, even with all the extra drilling and fracking and all coal and everything. Under Trump, we are still going down. And if we get to zero, what the hell good does it do if we're burning up the rest of the planet while getting there? Like, so that argument is moot to me and doesn't make a lick of difference or sense or anything. Because again, what difference does it make if we get to net zero and the rest of the world's on fire because we're just burning it up? Like, it's stupid. It's a moot point. And anyone that says, well, what about oil rigs? Well, we didn't have a lot of these machines needed at all these mining places. Millions of gallons and barrels of oil wouldn't need to be used every year. So they're running extra to fuel all these things to do this, which is stripping the earth. Then we go closer to the core, which makes it hotter, which, it's a counterproductive thing. I just happen to actually read all kinds of things and know the whole process and don't just listen to what people tell me. But there's all kinds of information out there. I got all the information from operating manuals and technical manuals for these vehicles. I'm going to go over some stuff and how many gallons of fuel and oil and stuff, fuel a day, oil and everything to fuel everything, which proves my point. No matter what, we can get to zero, wouldn't make a difference. Like, we're going to have to keep drilling to keep producing all these machines for 25 years, which is what a lot of these places are, over the years, just because people are just dumb. Sorry, I'm not trying to be a dick, but if we need to get it here, what the hell do you think is happening there? Like, that's just, you're a jackass. You're welcome. You don't like it? Comment. Tough. We're killing the planet all over the world. Try to get us to zero. What good is it if we kill off the rest of the planet and we're at zero? Because then there still won't be a planet left. So let's go with the Liebherr T282C. Has a 1,387 gallon fuel capacity and it burns a day. That's a lot. Hydraulic dump circuit, 744 gallons, oil. Hydraulic brake and steering, 524 gallons, oil. Final drives, 148 gallons, oil. Front wheels, 32 gallons, oil. Grease tank, 200 pounds of grease, which is another oil-based thing. The Liebherr T284, the C22 Tier 1, which is 103 and 230 gallons. Cummins, QSK 78, 191 gallons for all that. Then steering, hydraulic accumulator, 45 gallons. Fuel, 1,414 gallons burned a day. Hydraulic dump circuit, tank, 344. System, 400. Hydraulic brake and steering, tank, 244. System, 280. Planetary gear sets, 148 gallons. Front wheels, 32 gallons. Grease tank, 124 pounds. Let's continue to add up, tick, 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 all the oil that is being used in all these things, let alone carbon emissions, which is why you have to keep pumping so much to keep keeping these things going, because they're the size of multiple story houses, let alone the V20 motors and everything. But what do I know? Cat 785, that'd be Caterpillar. Fuel 500.1 gallons, cooling system 100.2 gallons, engine 53.9 gallons, differential and final drive 115.2 gallons, steering system 31 gallons, brake / hoist system 169.4 gallons, hydraulic system 89.1 gallons, service refills capacity for said vehicle, cooling 100 gallons, differential final drives 115 gallons, steering tank 24 gallons, steering system including tank 31 gallons, brake hoist including tanks 169 gallons, crankcase 54 gallons, brake / hoist, hydraulic tank 89 gallons, torque converter, transmission system including sump with a slash in between 65.6 gallons, fuel tank standard 500 gallons. That came from Richie's specs, which he got from manuals. You don't like it? Richie's specs. Type it in there. Look up any vehicle you want. Has all the information from the manuals there. The Belaz 75710 fuel 1,479.36 gallon capacity, which they go through, a lot of emissions there. Engine cooling system, another 235.11 gallons, oil. Engine lubrication system, 142.12 gallons, oil. Hydraulic system, 475.51 gallons. Oil. Motor wheel reduction gears, 185.5 gallons. Suspension systems, front 33.2 gallons, rear 33.2 gallons. Oil. Cat 797F. By the way, that's way bigger than a lot of cars. Cat 797F. Service refill capacities. Fuel tanks 1,000 gallons. Write that down, that amount of emissions. Fuel tank tier 4, though, is 1,200 gallon capacity. Diesel exhaust fluid tank, 100 gallons. Cooling system, 306 gallons. Crankcase, 103 gallons. Front wheels, 32 gallons. Differentials, 330 gallons. Steering tank, 67 gallons. Steering system, including tank, 95 gallons. Brake/hoist tank, 203 gallons. Brake hoist system, including tank, 489 gallons. Torque converter sump, 80 gallons. Torque converter/transmission system, including sump, 166 gallons. Like this goes on and on. You can just keep ticking up the millions of gallons of oil that they use every year just for this. That if we didn't do that to mine all these things, we wouldn't need as many of these machines running. If you catch, I drift, the Belaz 75601 refill capacities 1,151 gallons for fuel, so a ton of gallons, and emissions. Engine cooling system, 235.1 gallons. Engine lubrication system, 79.25 gallons. Hydraulic system, 372.5 gallons. Motor wheel reduction gears, 79.25 gallons. Suspension cylinders, front 34.1 gallons, rear 33.23 gallons. Komatsu 960E1. Fuel capacity 1,400.2 gallons. Cooling system 190 gallons. Engine oil 90.1 gallons. Hydraulic system 350.1 gallons. And this keeps adding up. This is just per one at a time while it's running before they service it and dump it all in again. So you people that make arguments that, oil rigs, well, they wouldn't need producing nearly as much if we weren't running all this shit, which then puts more emissions, which kills the plant, which then digs farther into the earth and digs all, they're using it to get more temperature, more everything, which, is killing the planet way more than gas vehicles are. But the T-Rex MT 5500 AC, fuel capacity 800 gallons, cooling system 156.2 gallons, engine oil 66.1 gallons, hydraulic system 320 gallons. The Belaz 75600 refill capacities 1,151.8 gallons for fuel, engine cooling system 235.1 gallons, engine lubrication system 79.25 gallons, hydraulic system 372.48 gallons. Reduction units, motorized wheels, 79.25 gallons. Suspension cylinders, front, 32.55 gallons. Rear, 33.23 gallons. Cat 795F AC, service refill capacity, cooling system, 291 gallons. Steering tank, 55.5 gallons. Steering system, including tank, 79 gallons. Fuel tank, 950 gallons. Brake hoist system, including tank, 396.3 gallons. Crankcase, another 82 gallons. Brake/hoist hydraulic tank, 134.2 gallons. Final drives, 180 gallons. Optional fuel tank, 1,900 gallons. Again, just keep thinking of the emission of all this stuff blowing, and this is just, in one, running all the time. Don't worry, I even break that down too. The Hitachi EH5000 AC Tech 3 brake cooling system, 45 gallons. Fuel tank, diesel, 789.9 gallons. Left and right planetary drives, 95.2 gallons. Front wheels, 6.4 gallons. Control cabinet cooling system, 15.6 gallons. Main accumulator, 37 gallons. Hydraulic system, 251 gallons. And crankcase, another 68.7 gallons. So everyone's saying, well, these oil rigs burn in a day. Well, if they didn't have to keep, and there's not just one of these at all these sites, there's multiple to include the excavators. They don't have to keep pumping up all of these, all this oil and stuff to keep doing that, which again then strips the plant of the resources, all the salt brine things, sulfuric acid, the hydrochloric acid, polluting stuff, getting down closer to the Earth's core, hotter, rising everything. Like, it all correlates if you actually think past what the jackass on the TV is telling you, which is what I like to do. Which is why people tell me I'm psychotic and that I care too much. Why do you care if it doesn't affect you? Like, this is actually what they're trying to do. They should actually be trying to save the planet, not doing things that are horrifically counterproductive to actually saving anything. Call me crazy. And here's the emissions burned per tank of fuel per day for pounds of emissions a day diesel. The Liebherr T282C Tech, whatever, 30,574.57 pounds of CO2 per day, or 11,195,718 pounds a year. Don't worry, it keeps getting better. It keeps getting way better, actually. Liebherr T 284, 31,142.22 pounds per day, or 11,366, 910.3 pounds a year. Cat 785, 11,014.3 pounds a day, 4,020,219.5 pounds a year. The Belaz 75710, 32,581.7 pounds a day. This is carbon emissions, people. Or 11,892,320 pounds a year. The Cat 797F, 22,024 pounds normal. The tier 4 tank that I told you about is at 26,429 pounds a day. And then the normal tank, 8,038,760 pounds of CO2 emissions a year. And the tier 4 fuel tank is at 9,646,585 pounds a year. The last 75601, 25,367.47 pounds a day, or 9,259,126.55 pounds a year. Komatsu 960E1, 30,838.28 pounds per day, or 11,255,972.2 a year. The TRX MT 5500 AC, 17,619.36 pounds a day, or 6,431,066.4 a year. The Blast 75600, 25,367.47 pounds per day, or 9,259,126.55 pounds a year. The Cat 795 FAC, 20,922.99 pounds per day, or 7,636,891.35 pounds a year. And let's get that compared to a streetcar that averages 656 gallons of fuel, a year, and 4.6 metric tons. In metric tons, that if I break it down to pounds, or just 10,141.26 pounds a year, which is way under what any of these just the dump trucks run a year, on top of the excavators, which I went over in episode 206. If you haven't heard that, find it. That one was good. All those combined for a year, the excavators, 90,320,111.4 with the normal Cat 797F tank, or 91,927,936.4 pounds with the tier 4. Number of streetcars to equal that, 8,906.2 streetcars for the normal tank, or 9,064.75 cars for the tier 4. Just to equal those numbers of per year, total, just for one of each of those. And there's multiple of them running. So multiply that. It gets even worse. And people love to argue number of streetcars that, it's there. And freighter ships to get them there averages 80,000 gallons a day. That's from the College of Engineering and Applied Sciences at the University of Colorado, Boulder. That is 1,761,936 pounds of CO2 emissions a day, or 173.74 streetcars on average per day. Multiply that, biatch. That's a lot. Never mind the trains and the semis, all the stuff they're burning to transport stuff, when semis burn a gallon of diesel just idling. And an oil rig burns 36,000 gallons of fuel a day, which puts it at 792,871.2 pounds a day, or 289,397,988 pounds of CO2 emissions a year. But if you add up, excuse me, all the oil and everything that they're using, and all of those things for just those one trucks, multiply it all. Think of the million barrels billions that we could save, which means they produce less, which means they'd be burning less. Didn't really take that much to figure it out. All this green stuff is exactly what I say. It's shit. Well, we can get to zero, yeah, and we're killing the rest of the planet with all of those numbers right there with carbon emissions for the amount of cars that it takes up. Like, it does nothing. Yeah, we get to zero. John Kerry, I'll actually agree with him. We can get to zero, wouldn't make a fucking difference at all. Wouldn't make a lick of difference, because the rest of the world is on fire, and we're not doing anything to help that problem. And anyone that says, well, the green, Electric cars will help us get to zero. No, like it's actually burning up the rest of the planet faster because it's not just one of those freighters running these things across the planet to get it to us to put them in cars or anywhere else, and then put it on trains or semis and all of that to get it everywhere. Like, believe it or not, it's taking away so much more than people in normal cars ever could, but people are just angry and yell no matter what without actually looking any of this up. And the numbers are all right there. You need them with. I'll give them to you. I found them all. Not that hard. It's not doing anything at all. Not trying to be a dick, even though I'm known to be one. But that's where I'm going to leave it. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you need any of the numbers, I have them. I can send them to you, point you in the direction. Let me know what you think. Follow, Apple, Google Podcast, Spotify, Facebook, Twitter, Reddit. I'm everywhere, but share it out. Let me know what you think. And until next time, my friends, enjoy your week. Peace.